Welcome to Raider Roundup. I'm Tom Christensen with the latest news and happenings with your hometown football team, your Racine Raiders. It was a perfect first Saturday for May. After a week of drizzle and rain, the sun managed to break through the clouds, temperatures got up into the low 60s, and the 2014 season got underway. At noon, the Raiders held their first regular practice on the grounds of the Gilmore Middle School in Racine. Approximately 45 veterans, rookies, and prospects hoping to make the team ran through some basic drills and got a little bit into the playbook. This year marks the return of a few ex-players that now take on the role as coaches. One familiar name from the past is Big Skinny, Matt Kalin, who joins up with his former teammate, now head coach Wilbert Kennedy. After practice, I sat down with Matt and talked to him about his return to the Raiders in a coaching role. And we're talking with offensive line coach for the Raiders, Matt Kalin, and you're kind of like the prodigal son return.
Well, I don't know all about that, but it's nice to be back.
You've been a player for the club, coach before, you're coaching again. I talked to Dusty Svensson last winter, and he said you were one of the big reasons why he decided to come out of retirement, even after they threw a retirement party for him.
Well, Dusty just shouldn't be throwing that around. It's nice that he said that, but Dusty's a good football player. He's worked very hard to get to that way. I remember when he was a young buck and struggled to make the team, and now you look at him, he's a Grizzly vet who's the leader on the team, and it's just a pleasure to see Dust and how hard he's working and listening, and it's a great compliment. If he said that's one of the reasons he came back, then I'm back.
That's got to make you feel good that you were able to see a guy like that grow and become what he is.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I remember Dusty as just this young kid, and you look at him now, he's got kids of his own, he's a great dad, just a great person, and just watching him become a leader on a football team and just growing into his own skin, it was cool to see with Dust. He's a good friend and a good guy.
Your playing days back on the Raiders, when did you start and positions you played?
Oh, geez. 95 or 96. I started when Will was still playing and I was still playing and our president, Matt Nelson, was still playing. And so a bunch of the old guys who are in charge now, we were all playing together at the same time, somewhere around there.
So it's kind of like a change in the regards. I noticed that too with Matt and, like you say, Wilbert yourself, and you're the core of the club.
Well, it's funny. I told Will when he first told me who was all on the coaching staff, I said, you know what, if we suited up for 4 plays, we would be awesome. After that, we'd lose. Because, if you look at the staff that Will's built, it's just fabulous with the old guys, a lot of guys that I played with and have a lot of respect for. You look at the running back coach, James Matthews, we go all the way back to college, and we played together on a terrible Carthage team. We came here and we had success. You look at a guy like Pete Dietz, Rob Gavelli, Chad Svensson on the defensive side of the ball, all guys that I played with, Wilbert. And then I played for Coach Pivovar when he was on the defense, Coach Pedro, who's doing defensive backs, Coach Wooden and I played together, and I know Coach Aiello for a long time, so it's a good staff. So
you got a lot of experience that the whole coaching staff is teaching these guys that are coming out and playing now. We had our first practice this morning outside. We had a good turnout. What did you see from your end?
Well, it's the first time in a long time being around the Raiders that a guy from the 80s couldn't come in and walk in and play our offense, which was it's a nice change for me. I think there's a lot of times where we ran the same offense. We always used to joke that guys from the 80s could have come in 2000s and played because the offense never changed. I think it's going to make guys more focused at practice, get guys more prepared, and it's a little bit different. I think it's something new and exciting that the fans are going to really enjoy. It's more to the trend of the more modern offense now, which Coach Wooden's trying to install as the offensive coordinator, which I think is going to be excellent. Now, are we going to go away from what makes the Raiders? No. But I think adding some elements to it that can be more exciting, and even by changing up the terminology, old guys like you go back to Dusty, who we already talked about, or other players like that, they're going to have to think and prepare a little bit harder maybe than they've had in the past, where they could have skated through because they knew what the play was. Now they have to think and really work and concentrate, so I think it's a good thing.
Is that a big learning curve for you too?
The one good thing is, like you said, being gone, I've worked with so many different systems now that you have to learn to adapt quickly, whether it's coaching high school, semi-pro, college football where I've been at different places now. You just have to kind of adapt, stay true to what your core values are and what make you a good coach, but figure out how you can incorporate what you know into the coaching scheme of the head coach and the offensive coordinator.
Well, Coach, it's nice to have you back, Big Skinny. I mean, that's a name that had been bandied around for a while.
Yep.
It's back, and when we say that, we know who we're talking about. Good luck this season, and let's have a good one.
Thank you, sir. It's great to be back, and I'm glad I got to be interviewed again. It's good to be home.
You missed that part.
Yeah, you know what? I did. I mean, it's good to be home, and I can't wait to be back in front of the fans. The one thing I did want to say, it was tough being here last year as an opposing coach. So I'm glad Will asked me back.
Matt also noted that Coach Kennedy had put together a coaching staff, all of which who have college playing experience. Kalin said that will be a big benefit for the team as the season goes on. Earlier in the day, 22 players, volunteers, and cheer team members of the Raider family helped out with Pancake Day held at Festival Hall in Racine. Going on now for 60 years, the event is put on annually on the first Saturday in May by the Kiwanis Club of Greater Racine. Not only did thousands of Racine area residents enjoy a great pancake meal and onstage entertainment, but the proceeds generated from the event help support the Kiwanis youth programs. We talked to event coordinator Jeannie Radke about this Racine tradition. Tom Christensen talking with Jeannie Radke of the Kiwanis Club of Racine, and you're going to have a long day today.
It's a long day, but it's a fun day. It really is a fun day. I'm down here by 5:30, and we try to get out here by 6 or 6:30 in the evening, but it's busy and it's fun, and it's the kickoff to spring.
Now, with the Kiwanis Club and the Pancake Day, this has been going on for how long? I remember when I was a kid, it was a big deal, and it still is a big deal, and I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but I remember it as a kid.
Okay, then you're probably 60, huh? It's been on 60 years.
Almost as old as the Raiders.
Almost, yes.
The funds that you get from the Pancake Day, what do they go for?
They go back to the youth in this community. All funds, all the profits are from this go back to supporting youth activities. It may be Kiwanis symphony band, music programs, soccer programs, whatever, but it's all to youth.
You're not cooking all the pancakes to yourself, are you?
Not me. But yes, the batter is back there. It's being mixed. They're all cooked on the big griddles that you see out there.
What goes into the planning as far as determining how much batter you have to order sausages? You got any numbers about that?
I don't have those numbers in the top of my head, but there's a number of people in this club that all are experts in their own field relative to this, so they know exactly how much batter it takes to serve 6,000, 8,000 people. Jerry Anderson has been instrumental the last couple of years in putting all of those orders together and getting the right amounts and having enough to go for the whole day.
I guess the number that you would have to put to the amount of batter and sausages that you order is a lot.
It's a lot. It comes in on pallets. So yes, it all comes in on, we were all down here yesterday and they're bringing this in. RNS supplies a lot. We have the cold products coming from, I believe it's Dean Foods, and that's basically it. That's our supplies.
So literally you're feeding an army. How many people do you think are going to go through the door by the end of the day?
I would say there will be at least 7,000.
So you got a long day ahead of it. You got your hands full, so we better let you get to your job there.
Well, right, is just to keep everybody where they belong. So, and we have probably 300 volunteers. So it's a tribute to this community and the way they respond.
It's been a long tradition. It's been a proud tradition in Racine, just like Racine Raider football, and the Raiders are glad to help out with you this morning.
We are delighted to have the Raiders. They are wonderful.
Thank you very much. Jeannie Radke with the Kiwanis Club of Racine. The appearance of Raider volunteers is part of the Raider Community Outreach Mission. In other Raider news, Kurt Barnes has been named the Raiders' general manager. Kurt has held that same role in the past and recently has been the Raiders' assistant general manager. Barnes fills the role which was vacated last month by the passing of longtime Raider GM Bob Marcato. He missed most of the first regular practice on May 3rd, but Brandon Rogers had a good excuse. Brandon became the proud father of a son on May 2nd. Showing up and a bit tired, the new father was glad to report that both mother and son are doing well. Congratulations, Brandon. The Raiders open up their 2014 season Saturday, June 21st at home against the Leyden Lions. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. at Horlick Athletic Field in Racine. The game can also be heard on News Talk 1400 WRJN and streamed live on WRJN.com with the pregame show starting at 6:45. Go to RacineRaiders.com or the Raiders Facebook page to check out the complete 2014 schedule. Mark your calendars and be sure to come out to historic Horlick Athletic Field to cheer on your hometown football team, your Racine Raiders. For Raider Roundup, I'm Tom Christensen.